It's a really delightful concerto.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single bad note.
No.
You're right. There are some concertos where I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, like one measure or two, it's like, get rid of. Not this.
Something that comes to mind is not a concerto per se, but it's like the Andante from the A minor Bach.
Mm.
That transition, that repeat is kind of awkward, especially in the second half. I don't know if you
Oh, I see.
that to me
Yeah.
is kind of awkward. That's like one of the couple measures that I think of as like an
Hmm.
awkward transition. Bach usually
Sure.
is pretty on his game, but in the last two measures of that Andante with the repeat, it's kind of strange to me. But Beethoven, however, is one of the greatest composers ever, and he wrote a concerto. He didn't write many violin concertos. He wrote a lot of piano concertos, but there's only one violin concerto. For those of you who are listening to the Violin Podcast for the first time, want to get to know Beethoven Violin Concerto, highly recommend. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
There's this conversation about Beethoven where he's always trying to reach for the divine. That's
Mm.
something that I've talked about in the podcast in the past. What does Beethoven mean to you? Not just this concerto, but Beethoven as a person, as a composer, as a musician.
Yeah, I think what you said about Beethoven striving for it to be this divine um, divine entity in the music, I think that's totally true, and you feel that while playing, like when the violin gets to play the theme in the second movement of the concerto, it's like halfway through the piece because the orchestra plays everything, the main parts in the first half. Then when you get to that, and I'm stealing this from my teacher Miriam, she says that that part is, it feels like time stops. Do you know the G B A da da da
Yes,
da da, that
definitely. Hmm.
magical spot where the strings are playing super quietly and you can have all the freedom in the world
This is
to
in the second movement,
second
right?
movement,
Yeah.
yeah. It's gorgeous melody and time really does stand still. You feel like you're not on earth. You feel like maybe you're in heaven if you believe in
Hmm.
that or just in some other dimension. It's incredible. It's incredible.